We're 82 Scoop Biz Mag Radio Talk Show. I am your host, Fallon Ray. Laisha Moore is the co-host for 82 Scoop Biz Mag. She will be stepping in a little shortly. So I want to say welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, we have a few guests here in the building today. They are of the youth as far as teenagers. Let's see, we have Cameron.
Hey.
Cameron, she's a high school student. We have Shakia.
Hey.
She's a high school student. And we also have Raven.
What's up?
They silly. So today is going to be an open discussion where we talk about teachers versus students in the classroom. Hashtag the behavior. So if you all are tuning in today, we are not interviewing a business owner. We are doing an open discussion and shining some light on what is happening in some of our schools with some of our teachers and students. When it comes to relationships and building relationships in regarding the teacher wanting to teach the class and the students on them listening as far as not being distractive when it comes to certain things and whatever they might have going on, in their minds. At the end of the day, though, we all are human. Adults or children, we are all human. So everybody goes through something mentally, physically, emotionally. So we have to learn how to control those situations at times. So let's hear it from our youth here. Cameron, what do you have to say in regarding you sitting in a classroom with a teacher, and how are students supposed to act in the classroom when the teacher is trying to instruct the classroom?
The students are supposed to sit down, listen to the teacher while she's talking, wait till she gets done talking to ask questions, or it depends what's going on in the classroom at that moment. So most of the time, you're supposed to sit down, listen, and be respectful to the teacher at all times.
Yes, that is true. You are supposed to sit down and listen to your teacher at all times. What is your input, Shakia?
I actually feel the same of what Cameron said. I feel like everybody should just listen, sit down, pay attention, so you can pass.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you can pass. As simple as that. What and yours, Raven?
I think the same thing, and just do your work.
Yeah. This girl is so silly. So yes, we all students, regardless of what grade they are in, they all should. Their job is to go to school, go to your classrooms, listen to what the teacher is trying to instruct or give you on class work or homework or for a future test that's coming up. You're supposed to sit there and pay attention to your teachers. Now, what do you all expect from teachers, Cameron?
As far as what?
What do you expect from teachers as far as when they are teaching in the classroom? Like as far as, I know all students don't learn on the same pace. Some are a little slower learners and don't grasp on to what the teacher is teaching, and some are fast learners too. But it also depends on how that teacher is teaching. Because a teacher may know something, but sometimes they may not know how to guide the lesson for the student to learn. So what is your expectations on teachers teaching in the classroom?
I feel like a teacher should always be understandable for each student, learn in different ways, and they need to learn ways to teach different students different types of ways to learn things. And I don't know. It's something else. I can't think.
So what is yours? So we'll go to Shakia then. Shakia, what are your expectations of a teacher when they're teaching a classroom?
I feel like teachers should teach to where most of the kids in the classroom understand, and the kids that don't, I feel like they should go to them individually to help them.
Okay.
And help them be better.
That's right. A student should go to their teacher if they not understanding something in their classroom. Now, some students are verbal where they don't mind asking the teacher, can they repeat themselves or help them understand while you all are still in class? But some students feel like they can need to go to that teacher one-on-one once everyone leaves. So I feel both ways are good. Now, in another way too, I feel some teachers should also have patience when it comes to students that's not able to grasp onto different subjects of learning in the classroom. So have you came across that where a teacher didn't have patience with a student that wasn't able to learn something?
No.
Huh?
No.
You come over here.
Can I answer?
Yeah.
I feel like the teacher, in particularly, when a student asks a question, they need to just not tell them the answer, but what's the word? Not help them learn, but like evaluate more on the question instead of just telling the answer. Like actually show them how to do it and what they're doing.
Well, yes. And then, but then, again, that's where I come to say some students may ask while class is still in session of a question. They might raise their hand
That's what I'm saying.
and ask the teacher, can you explain this a little bit better? So a teacher might have time to explain it. But then some students may not feel comfortable asking the teacher for a little help while people are still in the classroom, because some people may not be secure, they be insecure within themselves of learning. So they'll wait till the class is over and then approach the teacher after class when everyone else walks out to ask them, can they work with them on something. But then it's also too, the teacher should observe what students grasp on quicker than others as far as the students in learning, their learning ways. Some students are more hands-on, some are more visual, some are both. And some people can grasp on to a teacher just lecturing. Like me, I have to be all of it. It depends on what it is. If it seems simple and easy, yeah, I'll grasp onto it. But some things, like, you can say it, I can picture it and get it. But then I also, to make sure of myself, I want the teacher to show me exactly hands-on, then I'll get it. I mean, everybody has their learning ways. But then it also, too, comes on as far as the behavior part, when some students are disruptive in the classroom. So when students are disruptive in the classroom, if the teacher is trying to teach, because a teacher can only get so far in a lesson if a student or two or three are being disruptive and interrupting the classroom, and also disturbing the students that are really trying to learn in the classroom. It's a time to play and a time to be serious.
But they don't. A lot of parents don't, in my opinion, stay on their children about respect. Mm-hmm. You go to school to learn.
Right.
That's it. That's all.
Right.
Yes, you can make friends in the process.
Right.
But while you're in that class and that teacher is teaching, that's what you go to school for.
You there for a reason.
Teacher, for that education that your parents sent you to school
right.
to get.
Only time you should be talking, you can talk to your friends.
Right.
And in the times of passing from one class to the next, if you have an elective class, or for the little ones, gym class, or recess for the little ones, group activities, or lunchtime or after school. You all still have your sociable times, but it's a reason why everybody goes to school, and you go to school for that one purpose, and is that to learn as much as you can, and then you never know. Some teachers might give you a 15-minute whatever type of free time to talk or whatever. Just depends on who and how that teacher is.
One of our teachers, they give us, we can't have our phones out when we at the beginning of class. We can't have our phones out at the beginning of class. She tell us to put them up. And then if we finish our work and we being good during the class, then she be like, you guys can put your faces in your phone.
She said put your faces in your phone.
She said y'all can put your faces in your phone.
She really do that.
Well, that's
she
good.
Really do say that.
Because,
But we actually do when she give us work, we actually get the work done. But, she helps us with us, too.
That's good. Just depends on who the teacher is. Like I said, some give you a
we
break
get
and some don't.
Time.
Just depends on, who that teacher is.
But if we playing around and stuff, then she'd be like, well, I don't be playing around. But if
Right.
they
She
be
said,
playing
I don't
around,
play around.
Right.
if they be playing around, she be like, now we can't have our phones out.
Yeah.
And then I'll be mad because I wasn't even doing nothing.
Well, yeah. So then I want to
Still get that money
also dig more deeper into this conversation here. So for you all that are tuning in, and today on mycityMymusic.com with 82 Scoop Biz Mag, we are talking about teachers versus students. Hashtag the behavior. There was an incident that had happened here in St. Louis, Missouri, last week with a student and a teacher. I'm not going to say the school. The teacher started off trying to get this student calm down. She was being disruptive, talking across the class. First, she was talking to someone else. Was asked to move across from that person. Started talking louder, more across the classroom. Then used profanity towards the teacher. It did escalate to verbal language that was not appropriate on both sides, the teacher and the student. But the situations had occurred like before then. Like this student was troubled in this classroom before this day had happened. So it did escalate to something that wasn't appropriate at all whatsoever. The teacher know that she could have did a little better.
She did
but
admit
that student provoked her and took her out of her character. At the end of the day, we all are human. So a recording, the student did record the
But not from the beginning.
No, I know. What do you mean? The student did record the conversation, but it did not start from the beginning of how it got started. This student only had got the verbiage mainly coming from the teacher towards the middle end of the whole situation of the classroom. So the student did get upset, called her mom. Mom came up to the school wanting to fight the teacher in all the aspects. And then, of course, it was on Facebook with Real STL News. So if you all want to call and chime in on this, we're going to start this discussion of this. You can call in at 515-599-1687. Again, 515-599-1687 in regarding this situation here. We might play the recording of it so you all can try to hear a glimpse of it if you have not heard it on Facebook with Real STL News, because it was posted this past Monday, but the situation had happened the end of last week. So what do you have to say, Leisha, on?
Well, this is my thing. First and foremost, people tend to forget that, and I'm not justifying, like the teacher admitted that she was wrong. She could have handled it a lot differently.
Right.
But at the same time, we are still human, and everybody get provoked. Everybody got buttons that can be
Right.
pushed. And kids know that. And especially if they got a parent at home that everything they do, whether right or wrong, they backing them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If your child is wrong, you need to check the situation and get to the root of the problem instead of automatically jumping off the hinges at an adult, because like you said, the recording was started from the part that benefited the student.
Right.
It was not started from the very beginning to
Right.
show what escalated the situation. But
Right.
a lot of people will say, well, she was wrong. Bottom line, she admits that. But
Right.
I still stand firmly on, if I'm a teacher and you're steady disrupting class and you steady acting a fool and all of that, everybody in school, there are some people in class that's actually there to get an education.
Right.
So what do you say as a parent to your child when your child is steady disrupting the classroom, being disrespectful, even though she seems to say that her child is not disrespectful? That ain't what all the other students are saying. And tell the truth. Tell the world how your child got to the school that she's at.
Right.
Because that wasn't her beginning school.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So you have to get to the root of it. You parents, stop defending this clown
Your child's
behavior from your kids.
Exactly.
Because if they acting a fool, like my kids, don't get me wrong, I know for a fact my kids are not saints. You know what I'm saying? I'm not done by far. If my child come home and say, well, X, Y, and Z happened,
Right.
me as a parent, I'm going to hear my child out first, because that's my child.
Right.
I owe that to my child.
Right.
But I'm also going to talk not yell, not get irate, want to fight and act belligerent with no adult because you don't know what's still
What
from
happened,
it.
right.
And then you could tell that teacher, hey, I do
Right.
not appreciate the fact that you cursed at my child.
Right.
Lo and behold, and I get it. People say, well, you curse at people curse at their kids probably at home all the time. You're not supposed to get that same situation at school. So
That's true.
I do not justify that piece of the situation.
Right.
But stop putting a Band-Aid on the situation because guess what? Your child came to school and jumped on another child.
Right.
Her and some other people
Right.
jumped on other girls jumped on another child.
Right.
Because they defended this teacher.
Right.
What do you have to say about that? But
And
you have
you
a
can't
whole lot of
amount,
mouth,
right?
and a whole
but
lot
your
to
kids
say
are a reflection of you. At the end of the day,
And-
your children are a reflection of you.
Yes.
So how those kids was acting, the example came up to the school and act the same way, and that's where they got it from.
Yes, and that's crazy because it's like you ready to go to war.
Right.
Sure
Right.
is.
You
Right.
be in jail or
Right.
whatever may come from the situation.
Right.
All behind your child when you should be checking your child.
Exactly.
That
My
doesn't
thing
something in
is
your if
that-
if somebody keeps saying my child, like I get a phone call and I'm honest to say I get a phone call about one of my kids how they always sneak it being on their phone. If my child keep doing, I'm not going to be mad at the teacher if the teacher snap on my child for steady doing that and disrupt the class. Me as a
Right.
parent, I gotta check that.
Right.
It's
Right.
not. It's not. It should never get to a point where a teacher have to feel like they have to curse at your child
Right.
because this is a continuing situation and
Exactly.
you have not checked it.
Right. Right.
That's just
It's-
my views on that.
And my thing is too. I know this certain teacher is very passionate with
Yeah.
all of her students and helping them to reach their goals for us, learning what they need to learn while they're not just in her classroom but just in general.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the students gravitate to her because she's genuine and opens up, and she's easily for a student to open up to.
Yeah.
And some of the teachers there. From my understanding, they
Jealous
really
hearted.
didn't care for it because the students gravitate to it. But why? You need to be more open-armed and approachable for a student to come to. Then
Exactly.
maybe some of them will gravitate to you too. But my thing is too, I do like that. After the situation that happened, the teacher did pull that student aside, apologize to her, about what had happened. But again, at the end of the day, the student still
But
told her parent.
She was already
but
in her feelings. You see
yeah.
what
So
I'm
she
saying?
still told her
And
parent.
she know her mama gonna back her.
Right,
no
because she
matter
know
what.
how her mama is.
'Cause they act
Exactly.
just alike.
But my thing is too, when she did tell her mom, if her mom, I understand it might have been hurtful because that is her child at the end of the day.
Yeah,
But still,
'cause I
she
don't
should
like
have
cursing my child
Right,
either,
right.
you know.
But she should have handled it better as far as calling up to the school, or even if she did come up there because she still had to pick her child up.
Right.
She could have went to the office, asked to speak to the principal to tell them the situation,
meeting
what
or
went on, and
something.
set up a meeting with the teacher, the student, a counselor, principal, and her and whoever else in the meeting to talk about the situation where it happened, and it could have been handled a little bit more
Adult,
on a
like.
professional way on her end,
That was because that was so out of line.
Right.
And then you go to real STL news without the whole story.
Right.
The news and I get it with the news, you're not gonna get the
Whole story at all,
anyway.
right.
But at least say, okay, for you to go out on a limb and say your child is not disrespectful, she respects her elders and whatnot. That's not not
Right.
what everybody else is saying.
Right.
She won't
So are
respect
you
them
seeing what you want to
mistakes.
see, or are you seeing what you truly need to see about
Right.
your child?
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And from what I know about this teacher and just the little pieces I know, she go the extra mile for these kids.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know too many people that will go the extra mile for somebody else's child.
Mm-hmm.
Some teachers go there, do the bare minimum,
Right.
and go home.
Right.
And that's that.
That's it.
But then you got teachers like this particular teacher that go the extra mile, that truly cares about these children's education and what's going on in their house.
Right.
And everything.
Right. Yep.
I'm not gonna lie to you. If I'm a teacher, you're not gonna keep disrespecting me.
Right. Right. Exactly.
Yes, she should have put her out the class. But who's to say the child was gonna willingly go without being
Right.
still disruptive?
Right. Right.
You have
That's
to
true.
check that at the door. You have to check that situation at the root of the
Right.
problem, and not at the on this branch and that branch. No, you got to get to the root of why your child is not the first school, but this is what, second, maybe third. I don't know.
Right.
But I know at least the second school that your child has attended. Your child got kicked out the last school. That don't speak value.
Right. Right.
That doesn't speak value to who your child is.
Exactly.
When you're not around.
Exactly. And then it's just the point of after that incident, of course, the the teacher wasn't asked, to come back to give the school some, breathing room. Also the student, but then too, when the student come back, then her and her sibling goes to fighting another student.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
In the stairways.
Jumping the child.
It's
You
ridiculous.
say now, what now?
She jumped her for no reason.
No, I'm saying her and her sibling.
That's what I'm
They
saying.
jumped.
Her
They jumped
sibling
another
and
student.
That's another thing. Like, y'all jumped the student because they spoke against what you feel.
Exactly, because they
spoke
were
what's
speaking
right.
up for themselves.
Everybody
right.
has a right. Everybody's entitled to their
Right.
own opinion, their own views,
Right.
their own perspective of
Right.
stuff.
Mhm.
Everybody.
Right.
So y'all have no right to go to school and put y'all and assault this child.
Right.
Because
So-
she spoke for the teacher instead of you.
So I did see on the parental's page of the child's report card, she has this teacher twice. How you have a good grade in one class of her, and then a not so good grade in another class. So I came to the conception of
Maybe somebody in that
listen.
particular class.
This is what I came with. The conception of the class that she gets the good grade in. I've heard that she's quiet. She do her work and everything. You can tell by her grade. Now this other class, she doesn't have the people that's the
All her
three.
partners
Her
must be
partners
in
are
there.
in this class that
Got
she
you.
acts a mess in, and not in that other class. So she's portraying to be this,
Somebody
I
she's
guess, a lovable person by these 3 or 2 people that she's close with in this class. And that's why her grades are not good in this class, because she wants to maintain, I guess, the level of friendship with those individuals, which that's
Right.
not cool, because it's making your grades and your behavior not balancing
not
out.
balancing out.
Yeah.
That's no different than I got a call, like I said, like, because
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to, I could be transparent right now because I'm a parent just like a lot of people that are watching or tuning in that are parents. We know our kids ain't always,
kids are
they're going to be a
angels.
certain way in our presence versus when they're not in our presence.
Right.
So I know that, like, with one of my children, I had a teacher say, well, your child, when these particular people are not around, they're they're behaving right, they're doing their work, they're this, they're that. But then when this particular group that they feel like they gotta impress shows up, then they want to act a fool, act
Right.
like, like
Right.
ain't
To be
nobody talking to them,
likable.
telling them what to do.
Right.
Now I gotta nip that in the bud.
Right,
It's not up
right,
to the teacher.
right.
The teacher shouldn't have to keep calling me over the same situation when me as a parent has to check that situation at home.
So-
on the home front.
Right. So I want to open up again to you all, the youth, Shakia, Cameron, and Raven. So when you all are in the classrooms with teachers, and of course some of your friends or associates or whoever you want to call them, you all in the classroom with your peers, do you all, or have you all ever thought of, do you act a certain way in one classroom because there's certain type of kids in this classroom, and then do you all try to act out a little bit in another classroom because there's certain type of kids in that classroom to be likable?
I don't feel like
I don't. Not
Right,
to be.
I feel like I don't do that, but I feel like it depends on the teacher that's in the class. Like some teachers they cool, like you can act more goofy around, but some teachers be strict.
Yeah.
You gotta act a certain way in that classroom. So some teachers like you might get in trouble with your favorite teacher, and they'd be like, you don't usually act like this because you gotta just switch the on and off switch with different classes that you go to.
Okay.
But me personally, I feel like act like that around different people though. I have to
So you act the same way in the classroom. It's just to tidy up because of the teacher, and which teachers are more relaxed than others.
Yeah.
So you go into the classroom, so you know how, like you said, turn it on, turn it off.
Right.
You know how to adapt to the
Right.
environment of each classroom.
Yes.
Okay. What about
Right.
you, Shakia?
So I just stay the same, to be honest. I just stay the same.
You stay the same. You
same.
goofy though.
Yeah, bruh, she is so goofy.
Remain the same. Like,
Yeah.
they always say the same
But
thing
you know
about
why
Yeah.
you're there in
Like,
school.
Yeah, because I don't come to school to make friends. I don't come
Right.
to school to act out in front of people. I come to school to learn.
Right.
And, like, yeah, I act the same. Like, all my teachers going to tell, if y'all ever ask my teachers, they going to tell y'all I'm quiet.
Yeah.
Until I
Shakia
get
is
around my
quiet.
friends.
Right,
Exactly.
but that's how you should
That's-
be,
yeah.
right?
Even though
You're
your
being
friends are in your
respectable.
class, you still know
You
not
being
to act
respectable.
alone.
That's what you're being, yeah, because you're not quiet.
So not.
But you're being
All
respectful,
them
so you
cards.
know how to adapt as well. Now,
What about
Raven,
you,
what
Mrs.
about you?
Raven?
Right,
That
Motor mouth.
Hey,
She's so silly.
Okay, so me, it's not really the fact of me changing myself to be likable, but in each class, if I know I don't talk to nobody, then I'm just sit there and be quiet and just
Well,
look
yeah,
slow.
of course, right.
But if I'm in the class with my friends, oh yes, baby, I'm not gonna act out,
No,
but like I'm gonna be goofy, laugh, talk.
So has
'cause
a
I
teacher
talk all the
ever
time.
have to tell you to tone
Tone
it
it
down?
down,
Something?
No,
Stop.
they just be like, stop talking, but
And
Did
then
you stop talking?
sometimes.
But
But they be making me laugh. It's not even me talking. I just be bugging up. Like, I laugh at everything. Like, somebody just say something, I just be bugging up. He be like, calm down. I'm just trying to laugh.
Right. Okay. Well,
But-
sometimes
Cameron, you understand what I'm talking? Because Cameron
But
is
wait,
talking
wait.
for
No,
laughing.
because
the whole class.
it's going to laugh, right? There's nothing wrong having fun in class, but you have to.
They
If
start
the
laughing
teacher,
before me.
but if the teacher is
said
trying
they
to
start
be
laughing before me.
serious, you have to be a little serious. And sometimes too, other kids will provoke a student to continue to laugh to get them in trouble, and then they'll be looking back and they like, and then they
I don't
gon-
get in
See,
trouble,
well, yeah, I
but
know what you mean, because, like, I like, because
everything is just funny to me,
I just
like-
laugh at everything. Like, you know, like, you just don't
Yeah,
just,
she
like, not
laughing.
funny. I still just laugh, because I just
I
laugh
say
at
one thing,
everything.
she start bugging up. I'm
Like,
So-
I be laughing at
So
everything.
this
so
is what I've learned.
I did not get in trouble for that,
If it's no different than if somebody in class and they acting a fool and they acting a class, right? Class clown. If everybody feeding off into that, guess what they gonna do? They gonna amplify. They gonna get worse because if you laughing,
It's gonna
they
make
got an
everybody
audience.
laugh.
So
Yeah.
now they finna entertain. They finna
keep
put on
going.
a great show,
Yeah, 'cause I
and they
know
don't
how
care
that
what the
is.
teacher got to say because at the end of the day, everybody laughing at me. I got the floor,
Right.
And that's what it is.
Right.
some students do care though. Like it's a bunch of kids
I
that
feel
be
like-
goofy, but they know when to stop. But some people they just keep going, and it be
Yeah,
mostly
then
the
it get
boys.
annoying.
So I'm gonna
But
ask
it be
you
the
all
boys.
these.
It
So-
don't really be the girls. Like the girls will make jokes and we'll just laugh, but we'll stop.
Stop.
But
Yeah.
it be the boys. If we laugh, then they get the yeah.
So listen, let me ask you all this. So do you all think sometimes when certain students they keep going on and on and on, talking or trying to make the class laugh and all of that, being disruptive in the classroom, do you think they're doing this? No, this is getting a little deeper. Do you think that they're doing this because they may not be getting attention at home?
Yeah, like, do y'all feel like it's something at home that's triggering
That
them
starts
to act such
to act
in such
like
a
this
way?
at
Some
school?
kids,
Some
but
people
not.
it's different. Like
Probably not
some
at our
people
school.
act like that all the time.
Right.
Yeah,
They just do
yeah.
it at home and stuff too. So it just
Right.
depends on the kid and like what be going on. Cause like everybody know what be going on at their house and know like them which live there with them. But some
Right.
kids they act like that all the time. But then some kids they do that to get attention or to stop the class from doing work because they don't want to do the work. It
Right.
depends
Right.
what's going on
If
in
they
the
not-
situation
yeah.
And who the kid is.
So I'm gonna bring it back when I was in 5th grade.
Took it back.
And I'm gonna say fifth
First
grade
of
because
all,
this
don't
part
do my
it's
BB.
it's I'm gonna take it. I
Don't do
remember
my
I
BB.
can remember myself from preschool daycare.
It went about 20 years back.
That's how good of a memory I
More than
have.
20,
But
mind
I'm gonna
your
take this.
business.
I'm gonna take this
Going.
part back from elementary school
30.
because this part really stands out when I was in 5th grade and doing our reading subject. The teacher always asked us to go around. We had to read out loud. So
Oh, I hate
I liked reading out loud.
I love
but
it.
some students
I
didn't.
love it.
So this particular student at the
I
time,
used to want to keep reading over everybody.
Yeah.
Oh no.
this particular student that she had called because she called on everybody,
Right.
and so people knew when she called on this particular student
That they
that
wasn't
he
gonna read.
couldn't. I'm not gonna say he couldn't. He just his words didn't flow out easy like
Some
everybody
people
else.
are not good readers.
He
They
kind
can
of stuttered a
read
little bit.
In
So
their head,
but not-
yeah.
Out
soon
loud.
she called his name, the students would start laughing. And so
My bad.
y'all him, it's him, it's all right. We all grown now. But it made I know it probably made him feel some type of way, you know. But he did used to get back then we had like math and reading resources where they come get the student out the classroom for a certain length of time and they work with them one-on-one.
Right.
So he did have that.
Like,
But I can tell now as I've gotten older and I think about it, I can tell that it had helped him because his reading had gotten better towards the end of that school year.
Right.
From the fall to the springtime, his reading had gotten better. And I can tell, like when I think about it now, as a child, you can't really tell. But when you think about things now,
Yeah.
I can tell that his reading had gotten better. And so, but he was cool. everybody still was, play he was a cool person. Then nobody like single him out, but it was just, how some kids,
That's how
some
they do it
kids do
now,
act
though.
goofy and
Still
silly in
now.
the classrooms, because we all human laughing. Kids gonna be kids, but
Most kids,
what?
not him feeling some type of way, but most kids that we know they can't read.
Like
And
they
we
know
laugh,
they can't
but
read.
they'll laugh with us.
because they know
Right.
they can't read.
Well, he
Like,
knew.
because
No,
we
he
understand.
knew.
Like,
He
some kids know
laughed.
they can't
I
read
know
because,
he
like,
probably knew he
and
couldn't
so
read.
He laughed, but he
all the
tried.
time, everybody was just
Yeah.
started laughing. Like, even
No,
he was
he
talking
knew,
about it 'cause
he knew,
everybody
and he laughed, but he didn't give up either. He did it, and when he got done, I would say when he got done,
Stuttering.
he used to always say, "Whew, okay, I'm done." But when he said that, we all laughed.
He used to
Even the
stutter.
teacher smiled. The teacher, she ain't gonna say she laughed. She smiled because she know he was trying.
And he was fighting through that stutter.
Be quiet, girl.
Really, see what I'm saying? Kids
She
like
goofy.
you.
She is
you.
goofy.
But I remember this particular teacher in high school. Every year he got a black eye because listen to me,
yeah.
hear me out. He was one of my favorite teachers because he truly cared about the students that went to our school. Like I can't remember what subject he taught at this.
It was biology.
Yeah, biology.
Yep.
And so. Like I used to go. I'm gonna shout him out, Mr. Hyder.
Mr. Hyder, yeah.
I
liked
loved
him.
going to his class. He was very caring. It was times where kids didn't have enough to go to stay, go to
Yeah.
field trips and stuff.
And he would help
He
out.
would help out.
Yeah.
He wanted to know what's going on at home. If you need extra help,
That sound like
you could stay behind and get
That's
some
exactly
extra
how-
help. You know what I'm saying? If you need a ride,
Right.
he giving you a ride. That was Mr. Hyder. So there was certain kids that because he used to be like, hey, go to class, get out the hall sweep, this, that, and the other. And kids would get so disrespectful. Now, did he ever fight back? No, he never fought back.
Yeah.
But he got a black eye
I
because
felt
kids
bad
was
for
being.
him.
I felt so bad for Mr.
when
Hyder.
I was in his
and I used to want to
class,
know who he would never tell me who blacked this eye because I was gonna fight him. I'm just
Yeah.
telling y'all on air right
Yeah.
now, and if I would find out, I'll probably still black your eye.
And
'Cause
she
that
can
wasn't
fight
cool.
too. So
And my
don't play
thing
with him.
is, I don't
And
see.
I ain't even violent, but that just was not cool because that teacher really cared. And here you got kids that you don't know what's going on in their household to make them feel like they gotta come home and prey on somebody as weak as Mr. Hyder. Because Mr. Hyder was so cool and laid back and soft spoken. But when it came time to go to class, he used to be like, "Hey, go to class, students." They be shut up, cursing him out,
Yeah.
calling him all kind of names and this and that, and you know what I'm saying, shoving him and things like that. And I just thought that was crazy. But guess what? Not one parent came up to the school and justified and tried to check the situation
Right.
for him,
Right.
like for his safety and for his setting. Like y'all know how that man went home feeling every day,
Right.
he probably went home feeling defeated, but he came back to school
He
every
did
single
come.
day.
He did come.
Every
he didn't
single
give
day,
up.
he did not give
didn't
up on us.
And
You
he
know,
was
so
at the
for the-
toughest
'cause
high school there
'cause
is.
He said what he told me. He told me one day. He said, "I'm not gonna stop coming to school, and I'm not gonna stop teaching up here. But it's because it's students like you, Miss Moore, and other students that let me know that I'm not in here in vain.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
then." You got teachers like Mr. Grant. They ain't play the radio with her, baby. She could look at you, and you gonna
you
get
know
some
She was
scattered
the
like
mama.
roaches.
Besides
Bonita
Miss
Thomas
Lovegood.
and Miss Grant and our principal, Miss Lovegood, rest in
Yes,
peace.
yes.
Did not play.
Right.
You talking about a principal like Mr.
Dang,
Clark, but she
how
was
old
female.
he? You talking some rest in peace?
Yeah, she been
Yeah,
passed.
she's passed away. Our
Yeah.
principal.
And she was my favorite principal out of all the principals.
Oh, she was
I
your
like
principal.
Mr. Boyd too at Lowicha. I ain't gonna say I like
Oh
Mr.
yeah,
Boyd at
Mr.
Lowicha.
Boyd. Yeah.
But,
He was Mr. Clark
and
too.
and
Who was
Mr.
he?
Clark
He
used to-
had
when he
that
had the bullhorn.
bullhorn too. That's-
You ain't no skipping school. If he see you and he will walk and he will follow you all the way to your house or where
Right.
you going. Where you going? School is that way, Miss.
Like,
Right.
what's her
You know what I'm
name?
saying? Like that was
They was at
Mr.
the thing
Boyd.
with the thing
On Lena, the movie.
No,
What?
she's talking about
at the football game.
Full game with
Daryl.
the
The bull.
That
Yeah.
Yeah, he used to have that. He's been, come on, where you going?
did.
Where you going? It'd be loud and
He
people
did.
looking out the window. And
Then
so-
he used to do it to what's her name? What's his name?
You talking light skin?
Yeah, light skinned dude.
what's
The
his
funny
name?
guy.
No, this
Not
was
Joe.
this
Yeah,
was
no,
Joe.
Joe
we
didn't
talking
go.
about
Joe didn't.
middle
Joe didn't go to
school.
middle school with us.
yeah.
We went to Lowicha. Me and your mom went to Lowicha together, but he
Yeah.
didn't go to Lowicha with
Yeah,
us.
he didn't
I
go
have
there.
no idea.
Right.
He would have
But
clowned her too.
huh?
He would have clowned her too.
Joe,
Joe
crazy.
just a
Joe
mess.
just him and Jesse
He
together
told me,
probably.
my nephew used to go to class. I be in class watching for people.
He was a
Bugging up.
boy. I used to do something. Listen, so this is my question to y'all. Do y'all feel like, in defense of this teacher, do y'all feel like a protest is necessary, or do y'all feel like Like, what do y'all feel is necessary to defend this teacher?
I'm going first, please. me knowing her and me being her favorite, yes, I feel like a protest should happen because the way they did her and how all these other teachers be cussing their students, which is most teachers that do it all over the time. It be teachers
First
that
of
be
all, she didn't even
breaking
cuss at
down.
her.
She didn't even cuss at her.
She
the
cussed
girl
during the situation.
Yeah, and the girl, if she come to class, Miss Carpenter,
Come on, girl.
Keep
Come on.
going.
she try to help her every time she come to class. She try to help her every time she come to class. That girl don't never want to do her work. And so she got to the point where the girl was disrespecting her. And I know it wasn't right for her to disrespect her back, but at the same time, that's not how she is. And once you get her there, that's how she was.
Yeah.
But I feel like a protest should happen because, like I said, it's other teachers that cuss other people out, and
Yeah.
it's a lot of
And
teachers
nothing
that
was
don't.
said.
Nothing
It's
was
just
said.
this
And
student.
it's because of the
Yeah.
color. It's because of the color too. Because it's a bunch of white teachers that done cussed out so many students at
I'm
our school,
sure.
and they don't say nothing at all. They
But
let
see,
these teachers still
let me
work
tell you
there.
something.
Have you heard anything, Shakia, at your school?
Well, all I heard was the situation that happened, but I haven't really been hearing nobody talk about it a lot.
It's sort.
But
Yeah,
I'm
it's died
saying,
down.
I'm just saying in general now, like before this situation had happened, have you heard teachers curse at or students
Our
and
own
all that use
principal.
profanity? Yeah, you know what? And I felt like the principal of that school did not handle it appropriately. He
not
could
even a principal,
have
he's
he
just
could
all
have
over the
de-escalated the situation.
way
It couldn't have
before it
gotten
got-
this
it
far
shouldn't
out of
even got
hand.
to real STL
So it
news
seems
at
like
that
he
point.
doesn't know how to really
Exactly.
handle a real issue concern in that matter like that. He just kind of like tries to deal with it the best way he can and just hope it fly over his head. That's the perspective that I get from him anyway when I see him.
And
He
me
just
is not no
me as
good
an adult,
principal.
and I can be honest. Like I said, I don't have no problem with being transparent.
Mm-hmm.
That used to be my problem. I used to feel like if I sweep it, in, you know what I'm saying, if I don't deal with it, it'll just go away. No, they gonna keep the problem. Gonna
right.
keep
But you can't do
knocking,
that with
knocking till you
with
got
a
an
whole
answer.
lot of
Not
students,
with
and
those
you're supposed to be
students
the
as a
principal of the
no.
school.
I'm talking about in my personal life, but
yeah.
I'm saying
No,
as
he
far
don't
as-
even ask
And
me.
you can't do that you can't do that in a black school with
A bunch of
Well, that's
African
not
Americans.
it's not a black school. It's diverse.
That's a diverse.
But
Yeah.
it's
more-
more black
it's
people than it is-
majority.
Yeah. Yeah,
African American
you
boys.
have to know how to deal with all different situations,
He don't
especially
even-
if you have that title of a principal. And then I know it's
So-
a dean there too,
But-
so both of them should be working closely.
The
The dean is just over
Side by
behavior,
side.
though.
He came.
That's part of
Look,
behavior.
He came.
But-
to,
But that principal too he needs to know how to.
he came.
He can't what?
He came. I guess because ever
she
since
finna
the
cry.
situation
Lord
happened Monday, we had. It's been fights this whole week so far, and he came into every class today saying if you fight, it's a 10-day suspension. This stuff is getting out of hand. Da 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 da. Well, then y'all should have took the situation and fixed it right then and there.
But it was fights. My thing, it was fights before this situation happened.
No, not this year at school. We have had
Had
no
none?
fights.
Okay.
Yes, I did.
No, we probably had like one, and it wasn't that big of a
But
deal.
that-
Y'all had that fight where she had the big girl slammed on the in the cafeteria.
Oh, you talking about? I know
Okay.
you're talking about, but that's just one. That was shit.
But that was just like
say
that was just
That
like
was
a,
they
like,
was
a little
fighting over
small
something
argument
petty.
at that time.
But I'm talking about when I said I knew when the situation came out, it was gonna be a lot of stuff going on. But that fight, there wasn't really nothing though with the thing. But once this week started and it was fights back to back, and then every fight it was like 2 or 3 fights a day. Then that's when they start.
Well,
saying,
I
oh,
think the
this and
students
that,
should
da,
get
da, da.
suspended for fighting because you're not there to be fighting. And
right.
But most of the time, it wasn't
But-
even most of the kids' fault.
no, I understand.
And that's another
And with this
thing.
situation,
I feel
that
like was
situation,
mishandled too because that little girl.
I
yeah,
feel like
the
they-
one
There's
who
no
got
way to
jumped,
lie. She got jumped,
she was
be
like, I do
suspended.
not want to fight you because
The one
she
that
just
got-
came back from being
the one-
suspended and she wanted to go to
Listen,
homecoming,
listen,
and now
the
she
one-
don't even come back till next week.
okay, so the one that got jumped by the 2 siblings, I
Stupid.
felt she shouldn't have gotten suspended because they
Yeah.
jumped
Okay,
her.
she should
They tried to give her 10
and my thing
days.
is,
Okay,
too,
she should got suspended, but
this
she,
is on a-
just for
No, she
fight.
shouldn't
No,
have.
listen. Any school you go to, you're supposed to get suspended for fighting, regardless what school you go to.
Mm-hmm.
If just cause. I feel like because situation, she should have got suspended just for like at least 1 or 2 days, not no 5 days.
But
That's
yeah,
not-
But they
That's
tried
not
to
worth
give
no 5 days
her
of
10,
suspension.
and
I-
then once they
I
figured
don't
out,
agree with
I don't
10
feel like-
days.
I don't agree
I
with
wouldn't
no
agree.
days, and
Yeah.
that's just my personal
Yeah.
opinion. Because I get it, that's the rules. If you fighting, you get suspended. But if you know for a fact the person
Right.
tried their very best,
and then you know why they
to-
fighting that girl.
yeah. Like
You know exactly
suspended.
why they
For
fighting
real.
that
And
girl,
then-
because
and
you
then
know.
until she got jumped, so she ain't had no choice.
Yeah.
And then they
But you
tried.
gotta-
Two people put their hands on you.
One
that's
fight I
worse.
had when I was in high school, with this guy, whatever the case may be, he got suspended. I did not. Reason being is because my principal, first of all, knows my reputation. She knew, Miss Lovegood knew for a fact that I wasn't a bad kid. I wasn't in the midst of mess. None of that stuff.
You
She
said
used to
your
be
principal?
Yes, my principal. She used to feel some kind of way because of certain people I hung around, but she was like, "You're so different." You know what I'm saying? But when I got into that fight, I'm not gonna lie. I got the type of parents and aunties, family, or whatever. You get in trouble in school, and it's something that you know you could have prevented, avoided, or whatever the case may be. You gonna get in trouble. So me being me, I tried to avoid the fight, but then at the point, I'm not gonna lie. Eventually, I got tired because he kept being disrespectful towards me. I just knew I was gonna get suspended. She called us in the office together to hear both of our sides, and then she called us in the office separately to hear our sides, because you could tell the story when y'all both by each other. So you gonna do your best to defend yourself when we both in front of each other, and vice versa. But when I was my story was still the same when we were separate and we was together. I told her what he did, why he did what he did, try to show off in front of his friends or whatever the case may be. He got suspended, not me. And I was staying with my aunt at the time, and she was like, I asked her, I said, if I would have got suspended, would I have gotten in trouble? And she said no, because from what I've heard, you tried your best to defuse the situation,
Right.
and you couldn't no more at a certain point,
Right.
But yeah, like that's how that should be
Right.
handled with this young lady.
Right.
She shouldn't. So not to mention, she got into a fight that she didn't ask to be in, all on the strength that she defended this teacher.
Right.
That by right, she has a right to defend her if that's
Right.
what she want to do.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
Came up to
you
me.
got jumped by two sisters that your mother claimed is not bad kids and not disruptive to their elders and never get in trouble. Blah 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? All this that you said, because I gotta keep saying that because everything
that
you're
part-
saying contradicts everything
Right.
your kids do is contradicting everything you told Real STL News.
Right. And then, too, it contradicts your behavior.
Yes.
With the
'Cause
thing when
I
you
know
said
your record too.
Exactly.
But I ain't gonna, baby.
Right.
when you said your
'Cause
principal
she
knew
has
what
a violent problem too.
Yes. Just
So
like
it
her
stem from her
kids, so it
kids.
don't.
I'm
they
not
don't-
biting my
they
tongue.
ain't
She
get
got
it
a violent
from-
problem.
Right.
It's on record.
Right. Right.
so
You know what
what
I'm saying? What?
so what
I'm
She
sorry.
could get worse.
So what you was saying when you said your principal knew how you was, our principal don't even take the chance to get
know-
how we are.
to know how
He
you
just
feel.
sees us as black people. That's all he sees us
Y'all are
as.
just
Nah, a
per-
number.
A number.
A
Say the
number.
number.
Well,
Yeah.
a number. And that's how he sees us. He don't even talk to us. He don't even try to have meetings with us. Middle school, they have meetings every Monday and they get the kids' perspective on how they week going, da 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 da. Our
They don't
principal
do that
don't
for
do
high
that.
school?
And that's a
He
good
don't
thing.
do that
Whoever
at all.
implemented-
Good.
Whoever implemented that
Yeah.
is amazing because we listen. Let's be honest.
We
about the
did more
situation.
stuff in middle
There
school
are
than
a
what
lot
we
of
do in high
parents-
school.
There are a
Right,
lot
right.
of parents, or let me say adults, not parents. A lot of adults that be wrong about stuff, how they say stuff, what they do, what
Right.
the reason behind it, and
Right.
so you got a lot of people that feel like it's an adult. They right. No, adults be wrong. Heck,
Exactly.
I've been wrong before.
Right.
I just told my son earlier today. I fussed at him for something because I heard a piece of the altercation between him and my younger son. And when he said, "Mama, you know, I didn't this and that," I went in the living room and I said, "Son, you know what? You're right. I have to apologize. I didn't handle the situation right, and I should have heard your side before I jumped in defending the younger sibling. I was wrong, but a lot of adults won't do that.
Right.
They'll stand on their right because they know it's a lot of adults that's gonna back them. When my mama and my daddy and them always told me that if an adult is in the wrong about a situation, come to me, let me handle it. You know what I'm saying? So the young lady, I guess, technically did the right thing by telling her mama, but at the same
Right.
time, you didn't tell your mama everything.
Right.
And
You
didn't
gotta
tell
tell
your mama you
because
was
I'm
being
sure she just
disrespectful.
said
And you didn't tell
she
your mama
ain't
that you
teaching
continuously be
because-
disrespectful.
Right, exactly.
You did not do that.
Right.
So
right.
as an adult,
right.
yes, we can be wrong sometimes, and the kids can be wrong sometimes, but people won't even step
Admit
in.
to it.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
won't. They won't
yeah.
own it.
Yep.
Accountability is at an all-time low in this world.
It is.
Period,
And
point
then
blank.
she ain't tell her mama that they had a talk at the end and talked everything
Right, that's
out.
what I said, right.
And the thing was, okay, you could have told your mama that your mama could have still came up, but the way she came up there acting real,
Without getting
and
the
then she
details.
came in there yelling in there, where she at, da da da, saying all that. She didn't even try to sit down, and ask. Okay, all she could have said was, where is
Where's the teacher?
Can I have a
I
talk
need
with
to
her?
have a
Something
meeting.
happened. And then her daughter,
right.
after her daughter came out the class, she came down in the office cussing at the people that sit in the front office.
Right.
Yeah.
And
So
you see what I'm
she,
saying?
So your
She
daughter
took
was
it.
being disrespectful.
That goes back to the fact of, like you said earlier, Fallon, it starts at home.
yeah.
What are you showing to your, displaying to your
Right.
kids on a daily basis?
Right.
Nothing
If they
good.
See you cursing all the time,
Right.
acting a fool, want to fight, want to be violent,
Right.
X, Y, and Z.
Right.
They're going to display the same activity, especially if they know that at the end of the day, my mama gonna back me up no matter what.
Because
A
our mama,
child's
I'm
supposed
sure
to
it
know
has
if I'm
happened
wrong.
before.
Right? This is what my auntie used to tell me all the time when we was younger. Right is right and wrong is wrong. And I'm on the right side.
Right.
Whatever that side is.
Right.
If my child is wrong,
Right.
then I'm on the teacher's side.
Right.
If the teacher's wrong, I'm on my child's side.
Right.
But you have to get down to the meat and potatoes of what really happened.
Exactly.
Instead of snapping and going up to that school act. First of all, if I had a child at that school and you went up there acting a fool, now I'm
Right.
finna come to you, woman to woman, adult as adult, parent to parent, like, hey, you forgot that you ain't the only person that got a child at this school.
Right.
And then she
So
had
you up
another
here
way
acting
to get out
fool,
the
showing
car.
my kids what they probably never ever seen in their life before.
Right.
You don't know, they might have a peaceful home,
Right.
never seen nobody argue, fuss,
And they
curse, none
probably
of
got
that.
scared because they didn't know what was about to
Yeah.
happen. You know.
So you went to school disrupting everybody. You
Right.
mad because your child was being disruptive in class, and,
and
the teacher
used-
responded
right.
to this disruptiveness
Right.
that continuously goes on.
Right.
Every time
Right.
she
It's like,
get in
I tell
class.
people all the time,
Right.
don't poke the dragon.
Right.
Sick of that.
If you
girl.
gonna keep on,
That
keep
dragon
on,
gonna throw out that fire.
burden, that dragon gonna blaze you.
She
burn
be
you to
testing,
pieces.
and that's what I think she did. She just was testing Miss Carpenter.
Because she know.
And then when it came out, but why do I keep doing that?
Let's come on. Let's
It's
talk,
just
girl.
keep talking.
When, but I feel like me personally and other people, we know how she is, and she wouldn't just do it for no reason.
Right,
And other
right.
people,
Right.
other people that have had her for like probably that talked to her briefly know that's not how she act.
Right, and I have like
just seems so
some of the comments
sweet.
that
She
were on Real
is.
STL News. A few
Every time
people
we
I
get
did
some
say that
food.
their child had that teacher, and it was like she was just so nice and so sweet, and
Yeah.
she is.
Stuco even
in
went
the-
off on
but the
Dr.
in the-
Hopper because
but-
he didn't take the situation the way it should have went.
Well,
He was
yeah.
on the mama
He didn't.
side.
I at the end of the day,
Maybe
I'm
maybe he's
still
scared of the mama.
I'm disappointed.
His
in
mama
the,
beat
in
him.
the, in the principal because he
I mean,
to me he did
her
not
mama.
handle that whole situation because it didn't have to be that blown out of proportion
It
if he
didn't.
knew how to handle it.
And then everybody that jumped on her saying she shouldn't have cursed. She said repeatedly, and she'll stand on it. And I really wish that, we could have had her on, but at the same time, I get the reason why we can't, she need to smoke to clear her head. You know what I'm saying? That's just too much on one person.
Right.
But I will say this. If a person is being accountable and they apologize, okay, she cursed. She didn't beat the child. She didn't punch the child. It was a curse where, yes, you're supposed to remain professional at all times.
Right.
But I don't care what nobody say. Somebody out here gonna be man or woman enough to stand up and say, everybody got a breaking point. Everybody got a
Right.
button. You're
Right.
not gonna keep on disrespecting me, and I'm just gonna keep on letting you.
Exactly.
So one or two things gonna happen. I'm either disrespect you back, which she did, but she shouldn't have.
Right.
And she, like I said, she admits it.
Right.
But at the same time, like, if she would have put her out, guess what she would have did? She probably would have acted a plum fool anyway. The mama still probably would have came up to the school anyway, and still acted a fool just on the strip that this is who this mother is.
Right. Right.
My question is, not saying I don't know if the daddy's in the picture or not. Now, for me to speak on the father, I can't because this is the mother that brought the situation
Right,
to the surface.
Right.
But at the same time, I do wonder if there's a father in the picture. I do wonder, and if he is in the picture, is he active? Is he, you know what I'm saying? Did he speak and say, hey, we need to get all of the pieces of the puzzle before we try to put this
Right.
puzzle together?
Right.
You can't put no puzzle together if it's missing pieces.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
like the story is missing pieces.
Right. Yeah, it is.
But
we gon'
But the whole thing is with that is that the whole St. Louis doesn't know that because she went to Real STL News with her side of the story with that video. But everybody didn't know that video was not from the beginning. What happened
Right.
From the beginning.
No.
right.
Everybody think that video is from the beginning to the end.
And then she
it's
got
not.
to
It's from
telling-
the middle to the end.
Right.
She got
That's
to
what it is.
telling lies, talking about my daughter is respectful. She has elderly manners. Baby, she
No.
do not have no type of elderly manners because you see how she be coming up in them classrooms. No,
And
I'm
then
not
emphasis
finna
on, and then the crazy thing, like you said, classrooms. So that means that you don't just act the fool, and this particular teacher classroom. You
Right.
act the fool, and whoever you feel like you can get away with it.
Right,
in.
And
right.
it sure ain't the
Do
first
something
we
one.
about it. Stop. Like, your child gonna continuously get kicked out of school.
Right.
Because guess what? Go back to school and put your hands on another child.
Exactly. Right.
This her third school. Just to let y'all know.
But we go.
You
We
said
go
to be
take.
a third school.
Yeah,
We gonna
if she
take a,
leave, they need to put her out.
We go.
And if she come back, I'm getting her.
No, Lord. No,
Be quiet, girl.
disregard that comment.
Right. We gonna take a brief break here. We got running.
Y'all better know about me.
And your honorary TT.
We're back live with 82 Scoop Biz Mag Radio Talk Show. I am your host, Fallon Ray.
And I'm your co-host, Laisha Moore.
We thank you all for tuning in today. We are talking about teachers versus students in the classroom, #behavior. I thank you all for tuning in. We only got a few minutes left, so I want to pass the platform back to our youth that's sitting with us today, Shakia, Cameron, and Raven. I thank you all for voicing you all's opinions, thoughts, concerns, or whatever in our segment today. And so before we leave, Shakia, do you have anything to say to encourage our youth as far as them in their school year this year? COVID is still going on, but it's lifting up, some now. So do you have anything encouraging to say to our children? You are coming from being at home, confined all the time, and coming back into the classrooms, and to help inspire them to stay in the classrooms to learn and grow for their future. What do you have to say?
I have to say, it's okay to take a break on a day. If you stressed out about school, it's okay to sit down, think, just relax for a day.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And, just stay focused, and the longer you stay focused, the faster you get out of school.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. What do you have to say, Cameron?
I say stay focused, like she said. Stay focused in class. Get your work done on time. Try to be late, because some teachers don't like this late work, because I know mine don't. I say behavior. Make sure your behavior is good at all times. Some people step out of character sometimes. Just don't do it all the time. Get your work done so you can get out of high school, go to college. If you're going to college, military, like Shakia going.
All right.
You want to go anywhere else?
She's going
like,
to serve our country. All
like
right.
me, like I want to go cosmetology school to learn how to do hair.
Because she's
and
amazing already.
Yes.
At her age.
Yes.
If y'all be
And
seeing
then
my
open
hair.
up her own cosmetology school one day.
Right.
Well, not. Well, I'll open my own salon when I get
Well,
done.
salon,
Yeah.
School,
side,
so
you
people
know.
can work
Okay.
under me.
Raven.
What do you
What
have to say, Raven?
Oh,
She's talking, so what do you
This is the unfocused one. Come on now.
Oh, last thing. For the school thing, I feel like when Raven said something about it was all fights during this past little week, I feel like they should get counseling for the people who...
they are. They did that already.
Renner doing that.
Dang, can I
Yeah.
finish talking? Can I get counseling for the people who feel like they feel some type of way about Miss Carpenter
That's all right. Come on.
about,
It's on her.
about the teacher leaving already and not coming back.
Yeah.
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 She didn't get fired. She resigned
She
herself.
resigned.
So please
She
don't
didn't
say
resign
that.
herself.
She did not get fired.
And shout out to Miss Carpenter. We still
Might as
love
well
you.
gotta say it 'cause, baby, we love you.
We
okay?
love you.
I love you the most.
Good
though.
teacher. Good teacher.
the best teacher.
We believe that you're a good
One
teacher.
of the best teachers out there in the loop.
Right.
The best second mama, basically.
Okay,
The best
Raven. So what is
second-
your...
Okay. So basically, just stay focused. Do your work. Don't be bad. You can laugh a little, but don't laugh a lot.
She said,
Have fun too. Don't just base your whole life, your whole school year on school. It might sound bad, but
serious.
yeah, don't be so serious about the whole time. Like, still have fun while you in school, especially your high school years. Even though we don't do nothing.
So what do you want to do after high school?
Well, me, I'm a sophomore, so I want to graduate next year. I'm already starting. So I want to be a NICU nurse or a veterinarian.
Okay.
So I'm going to go to... I want to go to Clark Atlanta or Langston University.
Okay.
Good choices.
Okay. So then you want to be a cosmetologist, Cameron. You want to own your own salon, your business.
And military.
Alrighty.
And do my hair
And
for
Shakia wants to go to the Air Force military to help serve our
Serving
country.
our country.
But I'm gonna go for 3 years, and then when I get out, I'm gonna go to Lincoln
Okay.
and go to be a lawyer.
Okay.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna go back.
Okay.
You gonna play? You gonna state my cases?
So look,
legal matters.
we're going to have to reach out to you, Shakia, for the legal matters.
matters.
I'ma
We're going to
get in
make sure
trouble
we
on
looking
purpose just so
good
she
by
can be my
camera
lawyer.
before we go into the
Right.
courtroom. We're going to make sure
And if
our
y'all
kids
need
well
y'all
taken
baby
care
safe,
of for
come to me. Wait, let
got
me
all
say it
types of
again.
talent on
Let me
her.
say it again, just so y'all hear me. If y'all need y'all baby saved, come to me.
And it's so funny because she don't really like to
don't
watch
like
kids. So how you don't like kids? How you don't like kids, but you want to go into a field
Can't
of deal
stand 'em.
strictly with kids?
Her little sister gets on her nerves.
I said to save them, not watch them.
She said, I said to save them, not
She
to
been
watch them.
saved already. Look at her. Look at her. Look at her.
Paris, you got something you want to say?
Come here. Say,
She's awesome.
say hi.
She stomped. That's what she said.
She's
Stomped
all right.
Like you mad.
Right.
Look at her.
She said she's
She doing a
mad.
flip. Look at her, mama.
I see her. All
And
right.
but-
So,
Oh, and I was just going to say
What y'all want to be when y'all grow up?
what we already
Coming
are,
from the
y'all.
youth, people.
But this is what I want to say to the youth. If y'all, everything that y'all doing in life, if y'all making a positive impact in life, keep doing that. And because there's other kids that's watching y'all doing the right thing. I know there's kids that watch people do the wrong thing and decide to do the wrong thing as well. But keep doing the right thing, no matter if all your friends and everybody around you is doing the wrong thing. Continuously to do the right thing because somebody's watching, somebody's paying attention, and you have no idea what type of doors that are open for you. Be keeping a positive mindset in the midst of going to school. Because I know going to school is hard. Y'all deal with different obstacles because we dealt with them. You got different kids that you got to deal with, different teachers. Some
Different
teachers
work.
are really not there for the kids. They're there for a paycheck. There's some kids that go to school just to go to school because they got to get out their parents' house and their parents ain't finna let them be there the whole day. You know what I'm saying? So y'all keep doing what y'all doing. I'm proud of y'all young ladies.
Yeah.
Y'all all doing what y'all supposed to do in school and keep going.
Yeah.
And don't let nobody like this young lady disrupt y'all path.
She could never disrupt my peace.
We all know Raven
And that's
feels
why her
some type of
ponytail got
way.
snatched.
Yeah,
Her half up, half down.
And if I can
What's
give y'all
down?
one more piece of advice, just one more piece.
These kids.
If you're going to go to college, do not wait, because one of the biggest mistakes that I've learned that people make, including myself, you take too long to go to school, because you be like, okay, I'm gonna take a year off. A year turn into you 2, 3, 4 before you know you don't go back. If that's school, and I do not believe that school, I mean, y'all could get mad at me about this, but I do not feel like college is for everybody.
College is not for everybody.
College not for
That's-
everybody
that's a
because
reality.
What I want to do, I don't have to go to college.
That's a reality. College is
just-
not
yeah,
for
'cause I'm just
everybody.
saying- It's not for
everybody.
everybody.
You don't have to go to college to know how to do
And
her, learn how to do
it's
her.
a lot
There's
of
cosmetology
professional
school for that. You don't have
business
to
people.
go
Or
to
YouTube.
college to
And a
do
lot
it.
of people that own their own businesses
Ain't went to
didn't go to college.
I know a lot of
It
people
don't
that
take.
dropped
It
out of
doesn't
college
take.
and-
It
and
doesn't
it's
take
up
not
here. You
like.
see what I'm saying? I'm not suggesting y'all drop
only
out of
need to go to
college.
college if you
Please
want
don't
to do-
misunderstand me on that.
if you
Y'all
want
know
to
y'all
do-
will.
No,
You wanna be a
in
lawyer.
reality,
Words are twisted.
yeah, in reality, college is not for everybody.
Yeah.
So
But
do
for
what
those
you
that want
what
to
you
go to
feel is
college,
best for you.
or
Y'all
like-
don't take no long break. That's just
Right,
not for
and
those that want to.
don't feel discouraged because somebody say, "Oh, I got this degree. Oh, I got that degree," and they
'Cause
can be
there's a lot
dumb
of
as a
people got
box of
degrees
rocks
and
for
ain't
real
got-
on a
ain't
common
did
sense
nothing
level.
with 'em. Can't get a job to
Right.
save their life. A degree don't mean nothing if you ain't got action. And
Still working a
something
9 to
to
5.
back it.
So we don't thank you all for tuning in today on mycitymymusic.com with 82 Scoop Biz Mag Radio Talk Show for our teachers versus students open discussion segment today. Again, I am your host, Fallon Ray,
And I'm your co-host, Laisha Moore.
and we're out.
And I'm the daughter. Mama.
Peace.
I wanted to say
We
it.
want to
So
say our
I want to
name.
say I'm the
We-
daughter.
we-
We gotta get off.
We could say our name. We could have said our Instagram and stuff. We got people follow us.
I'm almost at 1,000
Made me
followers.
mad.
I'm trying to get more followers.
Well, I'll send y'all the video. I can put the video with it.
Okay, so after homecoming, me and Shakira want to go here. So I'm just